Ladies and gentlemen, today we are discussing a sensitive yet important topic: why women cheat. Infidelity is not limited to men. Women too sometimes break trust in relationships. Understanding the reasons behind such actions can help us prevent heartbreak and create stronger, healthier bonds. Cheating does not happen overnight. It is often the result of unmet needs, unresolved conflicts, or emotional struggles that were ignored for too long. Emotional neglect is one of the most significant reasons why women may feel dissatisfied in their relationships and eventually turn toward someone else. Unlike physical absence, emotional neglect is far more subtle and often goes unnoticed until it's too late. A woman may be in the same house as her partner, yet feel completely alone because her emotional needs are not being met. When a partner fails to listen, show empathy, or provide comfort during difficult times, it creates a deep sense of loneliness. Over time, this loneliness can become unbearable, leading her to search for emotional warmth and companionship outside of the relationship. Another dimension of emotional neglect is the lack of meaningful conversations and connection. Relationships thrive on communication, not just about daily responsibilities, but about feelings, dreams, fears, and shared goals. When such conversations are absent, the bond between partners begins to weaken. A woman who feels unheard or invisible in her relationship may be drawn towards someone who gives her time, attention, and genuine interest. This external validation can feel like a lifeline in moments of emotional emptiness, making her vulnerable to infidelity. Moreover, emotional neglect is not always intentional. Many partners become too busy with work, personal stress, or routine life obligations, and fail to notice the gradual emotional distance forming in the relationship. What begins as small oversights, like not asking about her day, not noticing her struggles, or not expressing affection, can accumulate into a painful void. When a woman perceives that her emotional world is irrelevant to her partner, she may lose trust in the relationship's value. This absence of emotional fulfillment creates a fertile ground for temptation and unmet needs. In some cases, emotional neglect can be even more damaging than physical neglect because it directly affects a woman's sense of identity and worth within the relationship. Being emotionally ignored can make her feel unimportant, undervalued, and disconnected from her partner. This state of emotional starvation pushes her to seek connection elsewhere, not always with the intention of betraying, but with the desperate need to feel alive, loved, and understood again. What starts as a simple conversation with someone who listens can eventually evolve into an emotional or physical affair, all rooted in the desire to escape the silent suffering of neglect. One of the deepest desires in any relationship is the need to feel valued and acknowledged. When women invest time, love, and effort into their partners and their relationship but receive little recognition in return, it creates an emotional imbalance. A lack of appreciation can make her feel invisible, as though her contributions and sacrifices do not matter. Simple gestures, such as acknowledging her efforts, complimenting her appearance, or thanking her for daily responsibilities, can go a long way in making her feel seen. Without this, she may begin to feel undervalued and question her importance in her partner's life. The absence of appreciation often grows gradually. At the start of a relationship, many partners show gratitude, admiration, and attention. However, as time passes, Routine and familiarity can cause people to overlook these simple but essential gestures. When women notice that their kindness, care, or support is taken for granted, they may start feeling unfulfilled. This emotional void creates a vulnerability, and she might seek out someone who notices the little things, someone who appreciates her presence and efforts. That attention can become a powerful pull, making her more susceptible to cheating. Feeling unappreciated also affects a woman's self-esteem and emotional health. When her value is not affirmed in a relationship, she may start doubting herself, believing she is not good enough. In these moments of doubt, external validation becomes incredibly tempting. A kind word or expression of admiration from another person can feel like a refreshing contrast to the silence or indifference at home. This validation doesn't just boost her confidence, but also makes her feel desired and important again. Over time, such reinforcement from outside sources can develop into a deeper emotional connection that threatens the stability of her relationship. Furthermore, appreciation is not just about words, it's about actions. Women want to feel that their presence and contributions genuinely matter. When a partner fails to support her goals, dismisses her feelings, or ignores her achievements, it intensifies the feeling of being unappreciated. On the other hand, when someone else shows interest, celebrates her successes, or simply makes her feel admired, it can create an emotional bond that fills the void left by her partner. This lack of appreciation inside the relationship often becomes one of the silent yet powerful reasons why women drift away and seek fulfillment else. Intimacy is a cornerstone of any strong relationship, and it goes far beyond physical closeness. For many women, intimacy represents a deep bond that combines emotional, physical, and psychological connection with their partner. When this intimacy is missing, it can create feelings of rejection, loneliness, and detachment. Women often interpret the lack of intimacy as a sign that their partner is no longer interested in them, or that the love in the relationship is fading. This void can push them to look outside the relationship for that sense of closeness and affection that they are yearning for. Earlier, the absence of intimacy can occur for various reasons such as stress, lack of communication, unresolved conflicts, or even mismatched desires. Regardless of the reason, its impact can be devastating. If someone else steps in and provides attention, affection, and closeness, it can feel like a relief from the emptiness she has been experiencing at home. It's important to recognize that unmet intimacy needs are not solely about physical closeness. Women also desire emotional intimacy, moments of tenderness, eye contact, affectionate gestures, and open conversations that build trust and connection. When such forms of intimacy are missing, even the smallest gestures from someone else can appear overwhelmingly meaningful. A gentle compliment, a thoughtful act, or a warm embrace from another person can ignite emotions that she has been missing, slowly drawing her away from her partner. The pain of unmet intimacy is especially heavy because it touches on both vulnerability and self-worth. When intimacy is absent, a woman may begin to wonder if she is no longer attractive or if she is unworthy of affection. These thoughts create emotional cracks in the relationship, and over time they widen into gaps that become difficult to close. In seeking to heal this wound, she might unconsciously drift into a relationship outside of her commitment, hoping to find the warmth, affection, and connection that her current partner is not providing. Revenge or retaliation is one of the more complex reasons why some women cheat. Unlike other causes that stem from emotional neglect or lack of intimacy, this form of infidelity is often driven by anger, frustration, or a desire to get even. When a woman feels deeply hurt, whether by betrayal, constant lies, neglect, or even infidelity on her partner's side, she may turn to cheating as a way of regaining control. For her, the act becomes less about seeking love or affection. So becoming terrific. If those are betrays de lava, behold, just as she has been wounded. This type of cheating is usually fueled by unresolved emotions. When communication breaks down in a relationship and problems remain unaddressed, anger often builds up beneath the surface. A woman may feel silenced, dismissed, or invalidated in her attempts to express her feelings. Cheating in such cases becomes a weapon, an outlet to channel her suppressed emotions. By stepping outside the relationship, she feels as though she is balancing the scales, making her partner experience the same betrayal and disappointment that she has endured. What makes revenge cheating particularly destructive is that it rarely brings genuine satisfaction. While it may provide temporary relief or a fleeting sense of justice, it often leaves behind deeper regret and emotional scars. Yet in the moment, the woman may view it as her only way of being heard or acknowledged. The idea of retaliation can become stronger if she perceives that her partner is unapologetic or indifferent to the pain he has caused her. In such situations, cheating is less about attraction to another person and more about making a bold statement of defiance. It is also important to note that revenge-based infidelity highlights the dangerous cycle of hurt within relationships. When one betrayal leads to another, the cycle of mistrust and resentment only grows. For a woman driven by retaliation, the act of cheating is her way of reclaiming lost dignity or punishing her partner for his actions. Unfortunately, instead of resolving conflicts, it often deepens the divide. This form of cheating illustrates how powerful emotions like anger and betrayal can drive individuals to decisions they may not have otherwise made if healing and communication were present in the relationship. Boredom is one of the silent killers of passion in relationships. In the beginning, most couples experience excitement, thrill, and novelty, which keeps the bond vibrant and alive. However, as time passes, daily routines, responsibilities, and predictable patterns can strip away the sense of adventure that once existed. When a relationship falls into monotony, Some women begin to feel trapped in a cycle where every day feels the same. This lack of excitement can lead to emotional restlessness, making them vulnerable to the attention of someone who brings back a sense of freshness and unpredictability into their lives. The craving for excitement is not necessarily about physical attraction alone. It is also about the mental stimulation that comes with discovering something new. When women feel that their relationship has grown stagnant, they may start longing for experiences that reignite their spark and make them feel alive again. Small surprises, playful moments, and spontaneous adventures often help maintain this spark, but when these disappear, the relationship can begin to feel lifeless. If another person provides that thrill, she may gravitate toward them, seeking the rush of emotions that her current relationship no longer provides. Another aspect of boredom is the absence of growth. When a relationship becomes static, with no shared goals, dreams, or experiences, it can create a sense of emptiness. Women, like men, need to feel that their relationship is evolving, not just existing. Without growth, she may feel that her individuality is being stifled and that life is passing her by without excitement or fulfillment. In these moments, the temptation of someone who offers novelty, new perspectives, or simply a change from the mundane can become very appealing. The danger of boredom lies in its quiet nature. It rarely announces itself with conflict or arguments. Instead, it creeps into the relationship slowly, making everything feel ordinary and uninspiring. For some women, this gradual decline in excitement makes them more receptive to opportunities outside the relationship, where they can experience laughter, joy, and spontaneity again. The thrill of something new often feels intoxicating compared to the dullness of routine, and this contrast can be strong enough to push her toward infidelity, even if she still cares deeply for her partner. Low self-esteem plays a powerful role in influencing decisions within relationships, and for some women, it becomes a hidden factor that drives them toward infidelity. When a woman does not feel confident in herself or constantly doubts her worth, she becomes vulnerable to external validation. In many cases, attention from someone outside the relationship provides a temporary boost to her self-concept. Compliments, admiration, or even simple recognition from another person can make her feel valued in ways she struggles to find within herself. This external affirmation can feel addictive, giving her the confidence and emotional lift she craves but cannot generate on her own. Low self-esteem often stems from deep-rooted insecurities, which may come from past experiences, childhood struggles, or even unhealthy relationship dynamics. When her partner unintentionally reinforces these insecurities by neglecting her emotional needs, criticizing her, or failing to show appreciation, the impact can be devastating. Instead of finding reassurance and confidence within her relationship, she may feel even more insecure and unwanted. In such situations, the affection or interest from another person becomes especially appealing, as it provides a contrast to the negative emotions she experiences at home. Another important aspect of low self-esteem is the constant need for reassurance. Women who battle insecurities may frequently wonder if they are attractive enough, desirable enough, or good enough for their partners. If these reassurances are not consistently provided, she might start looking elsewhere for proof of her worth. Even though cheating may not begin with the intention of betrayal, it often starts with seeking small doses of validation. flirtation, compliments, or emotional support that gradually cross boundaries. In her mind, the new connection becomes a mirror reflecting back the value she struggles to see in herself. The cycle of low self-esteem and infidelity is particularly difficult to break because the temporary validation received outside the relationship often reinforces the behavior. Every time she receives attention from another person, it temporarily fills the void created by insecurity. However, once that attention fades, the feelings of unworthiness return, making her seek it again. This repetitive pattern This repetitive pattern shows how deeply low, self-secure, and contentious. Yet, if the moment inspired her in her idiosis of imagine this repetition can influence opportunity and temptation are among the most common reasons behind infidelity, and for many women, this factor plays a crucial role in their decision to cheat. Unlike reasons rooted in neglect or low self circumstances, abelian that complexity and advantage they offer in approximate opportunities, they are ruse, duplicit, on site. When this closeness is paired with emotional or physical attraction, temptation can become difficult to resist, even if the woman never intended to be unfaithful. One of the challenges with opportunity is its subtle nature. Many relationships begin innocently, such as casual conversations with a colleague, a supportive friend, or someone she meets through social media. Over time, these interactions can develop into emotional attachments that blur the boundaries of loyalty. The more she invests in these outside connections, the more tempting it becomes to explore them further. In such situations, cheating does not always stem from dissatisfaction at home, but from the natural pull of convenience and availability of attention elsewhere. Temptation is further heightened when the relationship at home is already strained. If a woman feels emotionally disconnected or undervalued, she may be more likely to give in when presented with an opportunity. In these moments, the external attention feels refreshing and fulfilling, making the temptation stronger than the sense of commitment. Even women who value loyalty can find themselves caught in this struggle, as human emotions are often unpredictable when opportunity aligns with vulnerability. makes opportunity one of the strongest triggers for infidelity. Now that is triggered in infidelity. Technology and social media have also amplified the role of opportunity in modern relationships. With constant access to online platforms, women may find it easier to connect with people outside their immediate circles. What begins as a friendly chat can gradually evolve into emotional intimacy or physical attraction. The anonymity and convenience of online communication make temptation harder to control, and the line between harmless interaction and betrayal becomes increasingly blurred. This modern form of opportunity highlights how easily circumstances can create situations where women may cheat even if their initial intentions were never to be unfaithful. In conclusion, cheating is never the solution, but understanding why it happens helps us see relationships more clearly. Women who cheat often do so not out of cruelty, but because of unmet needs, emotional wounds, or circumstances that pushed them away from loyalty. This does not excuse the act, but it reminds us that every betrayal has a story behind it. The key lesson here is that strong relationships require effort, communication, trust, and constant nurturing. When both partners work together to value, respect, and fulfill one another's needs, the chances of betrayal significantly decrease. Let us remember that love is not just about being together. It is about growing together, supporting one another, and never letting neglect, insecurity, or opportunity destroy the foundation of trust.